It's cold in here. What does that sentence mean? Well, literally, that the temperature is low. But if I say it while looking at an open window, you know I want you to close it. Linguists distinguish the sentence means from the speaker means. That distinction is the difference between knowing a language and understanding a person. Welcome to Semantics, the study of meaning, and to the biggest reason LLMs feel eerily competent and sometimes weirdly hollow. They mostly nail sentence meaning. They still stumble on speaker meaning. Once you learn to see the split, you'll see it everywhere. The last 3 videos were about structure. Trees, constituency, dependency, recursion. Structure tells you how words attach. It does not tell you what the sentence is about. We spent 3 videos climbing the syntax scaffolding. Today we walk off it into semantics. Here's the puzzle for today. What does it even mean for a sentence to mean something? Naive answer, it points at something in the world. But sentences do a lot more than point. They make claims. They can be true or false. They quantify. They ambiguate in weird ways. And what the words mean turns out to be smaller than what the speaker intends. Today's 3 beats. First, sentence meaning versus speaker meaning. The gap the whole field hinges on. Second, truth conditions and reference. The tools formal semantics uses to pin meaning down. Third, quantifier scope ambiguity, where the same sentence has 2 mathematically different meanings, and LLMs still trip. Beat 1. Sentence meaning versus speaker meaning. The philosopher Paul Grice made this distinction in the 1960s and it stuck. Sentence meaning is what the words alone contribute. Speaker meaning is what someone trying to communicate is going for. Usually they overlap, sometimes they don't, and that gap is where language gets interesting. Watch it in action. Can you pass the salt? Sentence meaning, a question about your capability. Speaker meaning, a request to pass the salt. If you answer yeses and don't pass it, you nailed sentence meaning and failed speaker meaning. That failure has a name. Pragmatic failure. We'll do a whole video on it in 2 videos. Semantics, the field, mostly study sentence meaning. Speaker meaning is the domain of pragmatics. This video is about the sentence meaning side, but the split matters because LLMs are much better at sentence meaning than at speaker meaning. When a chatbot answers yes I can to your salt question, that is a semantics succeeds pragmatics fails moment. Beat 2. Truth conditions. A very old idea, going back to Frege and Tarski. To know what a sentence means is to know the conditions under which it would be true. Snow is white is true if and only if snow is, in fact, white. That sounds circular. It isn't. It says, meaning is a relationship between a sentence and the way the world would have to be. The complement is reference. Individual words don't have truth conditions. They refer. The Eiffel Tower refers to a specific chunk of iron in Paris. She refers to whoever's on stage. Reference is the arrow that connects a word to a thing. Combine reference with truth conditions, and you can build up the meaning of any sentence, at least in principle. Formal semantics, the mathy side of linguistics, turns this into equations. Every word gets a translation into logical form. Every sentence composes those forms into a big expression. That expression is either true or false in a given world. Jurafsky and Martin devote a whole chapter to this. It sounds abstract. It underpins everything from database query languages to logical reasoning in LLMs. Beat 3. Quantifier scope ambiguity. My favorite example. Every farmer owns a donkey. Read it. It has 2 meanings. Reading 1. For every farmer, there exists some donkey they own. Different farmers can own different donkeys. Reading 2. There is one specific donkey that every farmer owns. Same words, 2 mathematically different worlds. That's quantifier scope. When every and a show up in the same sentence, the order of their scopes is ambiguous. English syntax does not force one reading. The logical form makes the ambiguity explicit. For all then there exists is a totally different statement from there exists then for all. Formal semantics lives on that ambiguity. This is where LLMs still slip. Ask GPT-4 to translate every farmer owns a donkey into logical form, and it usually picks one reading and moves on. It doesn't consistently flag the ambiguity, which is exactly what we saw with attachment ambiguity in the syntax lecture. The old semantic puzzles didn't get solved, they just moved into the model's blind spots. 3 takeaways before the quiz. 1. Sentence meaning versus speaker meaning. What the words say versus what the person means. LLMs are good at the first, shaky at the second. 2. Truth conditions and reference. To know a sentence's meaning is to know when it'd be true. Words refer to things. Sentences claim things. 3. Quantifier scope ambiguity. Every farmer owns a donkey has 2 mathematically different readings. LLMs usually pick one and miss the other. Quiz 1. What's the difference between sentence meaning and speaker meaning? A. They're the same thing. B. Sentence meaning is what the words say. Speaker meaning is what the person intends. C. Sentence meaning is spoken. Speaker meaning is written. Or D. Sentence meaning is longer. B. Words versus intent. It's cold in here literally says the temperature is low, but said next to an open window it means close the window. Same sentence. Different speaker meaning. Grice made the split. Semantics studies the first. Pragmatics studies the second. Quiz 2. What does meaning is truth conditions mean? A. Every sentence is always true. B. To know a sentence's meaning is to know when it would be true in the world. C. Sentences must be verified before use. Or D. Truth is optional in linguistics. B. Meaning as world conditions. Tarski's 1933 idea. Snow is white is true if snow is white. That's not circular. It says the meaning of a sentence is the relationship between it and the way the world would have to be. Formal semantics runs on this. Quiz 3. What is quantifier scope ambiguity? A. A typo problem. B. When every and a in the same sentence produce 2 mathematically different readings. C. When a sentence has multiple pronouns. Or D. When translation between languages fails. B. Dueling quantifiers. Every farmer owns a donkey can mean different farmers own different donkeys. OR. That there's one donkey they all share. 2 readings, same words. LLMs still tend to pick one and miss the other. The old semantic puzzles didn't get solved, they just hid in the weights. Back to the puzzle. Meaning has 2 layers. Sentence meaning and speaker meaning. Formal semantics unpacks the first with truth conditions and reference. But there's a further question. How do the meanings of individual words combine to make the meaning of a sentence? That's the compositionality question. Frege answered it in 1892, and that answer is why modern NLP works at all. Next time, Frege's big idea, compositionality, the 1892 principle that says a sentence's meaning is built from the meanings of its parts. Obvious? Sounds like it. It's actually the foundation of almost every NLP system that works. Hit subscribe.